I just realized we're out of trash bags, so I had to get my grocery bag.
And now our new flange is getting installed right over the top of the old one. Because that is the only way that this is going to happen. And look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
It worked exactly like I thought it would, which is astounding. That something actually worked the way I thought it would with very little effort is just amazing, in fact.
Now I'm waiting for the floor to collapse.
Yes, right. Well, I am going to reinforce this floor because you might notice, by the way, that there is nothing there
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
I do have that little piece of hardwood downstairs in the basement where it fell through, and it will go back there, and I will carefully sand and re-polyurethane what's here, and luckily this will get covered up by the new toilet. And
well, we want it to support the new toilet.
Correct. So underneath I will be putting a piece of plywood. I will be supporting said plywood with chunks of 2x4 attached into the beams and with deck screws, so it will be of substantial strength.
I do hope so.
Yes. And then this new flange will be attached to the plywood, and everything will be hunky-dory.
Knock on wood.
Knock on what is barely left as wood here. Yes.
You gotta be careful with sweeping statements like that around this place. They just stink of famous last words.
They do. But luckily, that's progress. So, next we'll need trash bags.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. More progress done.
Here we have the broken pieces of the old toilet that had been here. Well, some of the broken pieces of the old toilet. And some smaller ones are in this envelope, which I've helpfully labeled toilet pieces.
Very helpful.
Yes. There's the new toilet. Maybe someday we'll be able to use it.
Maybe. All I need is a few more parts. And a drain that works. Not too much to ask.
And a miracle.
Several miracles would be nice. I could use quite a few. Abracadabra. Poof. A toilet. Not quite as nice as a carriage, but, you know, it's...
Are you saying we need a pumpkin?
Maybe a pumpkin would help. Maybe if we put a pumpkin there and sprinkled the right stuff on it, poof, we would have a beautiful floral toilet with a copper cistern.
Maybe.
Then again, maybe I can make that happen without even the magic dust in the pumpkin. We'll see.
We'll see. So, this is the glorious shower, such as it is. Gabriel, get in this frame for scale. Yes, it is a rather small shower.
You can also see that it is not a very sturdy shower. You do not want to fall or lean against the walls in this shower.
Which makes washing your feet rather challenging.
Yes. Luckily, it does have a floor that is slightly sturdier. I say slightly because it's only slightly sturdier. It does flex when you step on it.
And when we moved in, it was rather disgusting in the extreme.
And I cleaned it.
Yes, you did.
I cleaned it very thoroughly, and I made it inhabitable. And I made it a place where one can get clean rather than getting dirtier, which is what would have been the case before.
And you managed to evict the cockroaches, we hope.
Yes, correct. And
they were disgusting.
Yes, they were very disgusting, and luckily they seem to be gone.
I hope so. I do hope so. Knock on wood.
And as you can see, it had such an incredibly cheap and unavailable tap system that I had to simply abandon its holes and cover them up with rubber washers, and this is not a showpiece, but it is functional now. And all of the piping is all redone, and things largely work, which is important.
I still want a bathtub.
We will definitely want a bathtub. That would be much better.
But for that, we need the drain.
For that, we need the drain. And for that, we need, well, the drain to cure, hopefully. Right now, that's our only hope.
We don't even have someone to tell. You're my only hope.
No, this is more like silicone caulk. You're my only hope. Which is a little sad.
Yeah.
By the time you get down to that...
You're pretty desperate.
You're pretty desperate indeed. Yes, it's like, this better work. You're my only hope. Cock gun. So, and but yes, it would be extremely nice if that works, because then we can really start making actual plumbing work. This is the hot water heater I installed that makes our showers warm, which is extremely nice. And
As opposed to the cold ones I was taking for months.
yes, and this has been very functional, and I am glad that it has been. It was the hardest part was honestly getting the old one out of here.
It was heavy.
It was very heavy, and
Our very nice neighbor helped.
and it leaked rusty water all over us while we extracted it.
The same neighbor helped with that who helped me evict the raccoon.
Very important.
Very important.
Okay, it's shower time. You don't get to see that.
I do. The folks at home don't.
No cameras in the shower.
No. We're not that sort.
No.
I'll get you a towel.
Okay. Discovering some of the reasons why the bathtub has had some leaking issues, and this very corroded section of pipe might have something to do with it, and this nut that was meant to be holding it on, which now is the shape roughly of, well, not a circle anymore.
Hold it up so that we can see. Yeah.
Maybe something like the Rebel Alliance logo, kind of like that. Anyway, and there's a dead spider in this drain too. Anyway, this is not happy. This has to be replaced. I'm hoping that the main giant waste thing, which is the original piece of hardware here, can be salvaged. In order to work that out, I have to take various things out, including I have to move this tub a little bit. It will be heavy, but I will be able to do it, I think, little bit by little bit. And then I will take out that big drain thing, and we will see if it can survive. I certainly hope it can.
And we might put a sink here, perhaps.
Yes,
Someday.
I might put a sink there someday. I might even work on it later today.
Wow.
We'll see. Yes, there might be progress here. And in the meantime, I took out the extremely ugly tap that had been installed on this.
Here, show that to us a little more.
So this is the extremely ugly tap that had been put on at some point, probably in the 60s or 70s, looking at it.
Boo.
It's ugly, and it didn't work very well either. You can see how crusty it is on the inside there. Very crusty, very crusty. And I did find this original in the basement, which is the one that was originally on here, probably.
Nice.
The only trouble is that it's missing all of this hardware that goes from here back, and therefore I don't have any way to install this.
That's problematic.
Which is problematic. But luckily we brought a nice, wonderful faucet from Port Townsend, which is in here under the toilet paper. And that,
Why is there toilet paper in here when the toilet is not functional?
it's been in here for a while.
I think it was wishful thinking.
I think it was. And then I have to clean this rust off the tub too. That'll be a project. But yes, here's a very nice faucet, which will be installed. But first I have to get a drain that functions. And then we'll be able to connect other things. And that's my next little project here. So here is the pedestal of the new sink. We'll have to work out how it integrates into everything with the drain where it is. And that wasn't even the heavy part. The heavy part, of course, is bringing up the actual bowl of the sink. So this is a heavy bugger. And I'm trying to... Uh-oh.
What was that?
That was another bolt. Good. It was just hidden in there.
At least it wasn't a part of the sink.
Well, it is a part of the sink, but...
Well, I mean, at least nothing broke.
Exactly. Nothing broke. So, that's roughly what it's going to look like. And now I can hopefully work out exactly where everything has to go and how that's going to work. And eventually it will even have taps. That'll be very useful.
What luxury!
These luxuries. Oh. You can't start with these things too soon. Because who knows how we'd handle that.
You gotta work up to these little...
You do have to work up to these things, because otherwise you can just overload our little systems And we would just be running screaming in all directions. Like toilet paper here, see? You can't.
I still submit. It's weird that we have that here when we haven't had a functional toilet in almost 6 months now.
That is a little weird, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
But then again, we're weird.
What? Weird?
Weird? No, not us. Oh, my hair is atrocious.
You also have packing stuff on your neck.
Packing stuff on my neck. Sure that's not just a fashion choice here? This is the new look.
The new look.
Okay, well, I just have to find out the right angle to put things at. Angle. Maybe if we actually angled it in there, that would look good. We don't have to be all rectilinear about everything.
This is neoclassical. It's all about the rectilinear.
It's also about the angles and the curls. And this is an oval. It is an ellipse. It screams, I am not rectilinear. I am columnar.
Yes, columnar.
It is undeniable.
This is true. This is true.
All of this is going to be a wonderful documentation of exactly how crazy all this stuff makes sense.
I am slowly going crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, switch. Crazy going slowly am I. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch.
I don't think it's even that slow. So, this may not look like much, but it is now a functional toilet.
Yay!
And that makes a big difference.
Eventually we will replace it with a more historic looking toilet, but for now, it's a toilet! And it works!
That's right. So, in fact,
yeah, tell them about the freezing of this house.
yes, so this house, at some point, as far as I can tell with the archaeology of this, the plumbing backed up. And it backed up because the cast iron pipe in the basement rotted through and then got filled with clay. And then that clay basically the plumbing wasn't used for a while. That clay hardened into terracotta, and there was no more passing through that plumbing at that point. So water backed up because people did use it occasionally, and water backed up, and it filled the pipes up to the level just below this toilet.
And then, this is, 2 stories above ground.
Then the house froze, and the water froze in the toilets and cracked the toilet bowls, and it froze in that cast iron pipe, and it cracked that cast iron pipe along about a 3.5 foot length.
And it was not just water, it was 2.5 stories of waste.
Yes.
In a column.
In a column, yes.
That then froze when the temperature got to -20, and there was no heat in this house because there was no one living here.
Right. And so now that pipe has been fixed, which is wonderful, and I've replaced the collapsed section of pipe that was down under the basement floor. And we have had to replace the toilet bowl that was finally there. The final one that was left was cracked but still installed in place, and so we had to remove that. And another project I worked on yesterday was using some wood filler to repair the damaged hardwood by where the downstairs toilet goes. And so all of this I sort of filled in, and now I need to sand and then polyurethane. Luckily, most of this will get hidden under the toilet when that gets installed, but this will make things much more solid and protected and will stabilize that floor a bit. I've also repaired it from underneath with some plywood, and so everything here is much more stable than it used to be. That'll be a very nice thing when we mount a toilet to it.
We were just discussing what wonderful plumbing the ancient Romans had.
Yes, it helps that a bunch of their plumbing was stone. See, stonework I'm achieving new levels of respect for.
Well, isn't it just interesting, though, how the ancient Romans, over 2,000 years ago, had amazing plumbing. And then throughout history, the plumbing has sort of had its ups and downs, and there have been times when the plumbing was great and times when the plumbing was not so great. How many indoor toilets?